Hello, everybody, and early Happy New Year. Some of you listening have already had your New Year, so you can wish us a Happy New Year. So, hi, this is Louis. I'm Louix Dor Dempriey, and we are broadcasting live from Carlsbad, California, where we're having our, our annual New Year's Eve retreat. And right now, we're coming to the part that happens every year during our 6-day retreat when I give my divine dispensation for the coming year. And the first thing that I do, I take just a couple of minutes to review the year that we are now completing in the next 30 minutes. That'll be over. And last year at this time, on the same night, I delivered a dispensation proclaiming 2018 as the year of friendship. And I invited people into exploring in their lives and expanding and deepening in their lives how they can improve and strengthen and expand the concept of friendship in different areas of their lives. For instance, first and foremost would be your friendship or relationship with yourself. And I invited people and gave them examples and showed them ways and means and tools to how to create a better friendship with yourself, which is the foundation of all friendships, and in ways such as learning to love yourself more unconditionally, learning to treat yourself better in terms of self-respect, self-dignity, establishing or creating boundaries if you didn't even have them. Nurturing is another really big one. And liking yourself, self-acceptance as a form of liking, accepting your strengths, your weaknesses, honesty, accountability. These are some of the areas for improving friendship with oneself. Obviously, there's the profound category of friendship with your Creator, however you see him, her, it, the energy, or the Creator itself. And deepening that friendship, that romance with the beloved, that courtship with the beloved in ways that you could explore throughout the year. And then also there is the category of your existing friendships, and that would be about how to purify them, strengthen them, improve them, and some of the ways that gets played out or could play out could be, for instance, mending some fences, burning some bridges, finding people perhaps you've had held long-standing grudges toward or with, and just finally choosing to let it go, much less to outright forgive them, because you can. One of the things we were talking about moments ago before the broadcast was I was asking people and inviting people to look inside their hearts and see where perhaps you might not have been as unconditionally loving of people you call your friends as you thought you might have been. Like people who say, well, I'll apologize if you apologize. And really, that's not unconditional love. That's a condition placed on loving. So conditional forgiveness is conditional love. We apologize to people because we know we violated them or offended them in some way. We don't apologize in expectation of one in return. We don't apologize only if we know they'll be friends with us or they'll accept it or they'll like us. What the other person does with your apology is none of your business. If the person chooses to forgive you, is none of your business. That's between him, her, and God and the universe, not you. You have a responsibility and accountability and integrity, a moral fiber and ethic and code to uphold. And so there was an invitation that I gave to people to really go into that and be more honest with yourself than you've ever been when looking in the mirror. Have a higher level of integrity, create a higher level of accountability, and choose to forgive people you've had grudges toward or judgments of. Also, the flip side of that same coin is asking for forgiveness for people you deep in your heart, you have offended or violated in some way, or behaved in a non-loving way toward that person. Ask for forgiveness as well. And another area is in improving friendships is in making restitution. Restitution is a way of balancing the karma, for something that if you have stepped out of unconditional love in your thoughts, feelings, words, or deeds toward or with another person, there's not only the asking of forgiveness and the apologizing, but also looking in your heart to see, do I need to make restitution here? Is there something I need to do to you, for you, on your behalf, to give back, to balance that energy so that I can restore perfect unconditional love between us? Again, independent of the other person's opinion or cooperation, that's irrelevant. It's what you know you need to do and put back into the universe. And then the third area, or fourth, since I added the area of relationship with the divine, the fourth category is how the invitation last year on this night was about expanding the concept of friendship into beyond your existing community, insofar as making new friends, new inroads, new acquaintances, clearing new paths and expanding your life, broadening your horizons in that way. And prior to this broadcast, we have all been sharing here at this retreat. People have been taking turns looking at those four categories of the concept and dynamic of friendship and seeing where and how they did or did not expand or deepen in that and learn to improve, raise the bar, whatever metaphor you want to use, so that they can become greater, better, more resplendent versions of themselves. And that's a wonderful thing. It's a really, really wonderful thing. So as I speak these words and reflect and reminisce, hopefully some of you who were involved in this last year and along through this year have been doing so as well. And I'm asking you to do that, not just while I'm speaking, but, in this night and the days to come, have a reflection of that year for yourself to see just how so that did or did not play out in your life. To what degree? Where did you, reach for the golden ring? Where did you make forays into those avenues and those four categories of friendship? Where did you not? Where did you shy away from? And again, this doesn't end with tonight. This is like with all the annual dispensations. There are ways that we expand our consciousness in our life ongoingly for the rest of our lives. So it's not like, okay, I did that year's over, now we move on to the next one that Louix delivered. No, it's like it's an aggregate. They add on so that you just keep expanding your consciousness, your awareness, and raising your vibration and expanding into greater love in all the different ways you can, and in all four levels of your creation, in thought, feeling, word, and deed. And so that, my dear friends, beloveds, is what this year of 2018 was about. And as we speak about it on the individual, the microcosmic level, I also say often and always to look on the macrocosmic level in the greater collective consciousness to see how that plays out. And if we look in the world, you can see that on the international scene and the international political scene, a lot of very powerful alliances happened with world leaders this year. And in a way, I know in my lifetime, I'm in my mid-50s, in my lifetime, I don't know that I ever remember seeing it like this, the coalescing of world leaders and cooperation with them as different countries are struggling, whether it's with bankruptcy or a civil war or political upheaval or change of power, seats of power, that countries are aligning and reaching out to each other, in friendship more than ever before. Also in seeing different segments of society, even within our own country in this United States, seeing different segments of society reaching their hands across and crossing over to help in support. We saw the Me Too movement take root at the end of the year prior and really soar in this year, with people coming out in support of each other and backing each other up and being compassionate and holding each other up and lending a shoulder and an ear and the outpouring of help to each other. I mean, many of you, I'm sure, I know it aired worldwide, these unprecedented fires that California had that wiped out thousands and thousands of homes, and in one case took a town right off the map. And we saw people, I remember living in, as I'm living in California, watching it. Of course, it was on our news all the more because we live here. Watching people just drop what they were doing and go to help people save their animals and rescue their kids and get their furnishings out. And people were just, and it is true that does happen in crisis. But nonetheless, in this year of friendship, I'm looking to see in the collective consciousness how friendship has grown and expanded in so many ways. And again, this is something to keep doing and keep building upon in your life in all four categories, and watch how that enriches the world. Remember that great principle, the power of one. As you make these changes within yourself, they affect people in your life and the people whose lives you touch and the people whose lives your loved ones touch. So there's a great deal of finger pointing that happens in the world, and much more impactful on the globe, on the planet, on the human race than finger pointing is looking at oneself and make those changes. Like our dear Gandhi used to say, be the change you wish to see in others. If we keep the focus on self-purifying and self-growth and expanding my own consciousness, how can I become a better person? How can I become more giving, more loving, more caring, a better friend? How can I be a better friend to those I call friend, rather than waiting for them to change, waiting for someone else to apologize, waiting for someone else to make the first move? Take that step. Be more courageous. Be more proactive in that. Now, so much there for this year of 2018, as we're getting near the witching hour here. Let me speak now about 2019, this year we're about to enter in a few minutes. Looking long and hard at what would serve the highest good and what would really help forward the vision, God's vision for humanity, and what the world really needs right now as an impetus for change and for positive growth. What I came up with and created for my dispensation for this year is to proclaim 2019 as the year of focus. And so what this year is about, it's really like, preparing for the big hurrah, preparing for the show, preparing for the great change, preparing for the advent of something wondrous. And what we do, if you think about your life, what you do to prepare for something wondrous. We're going through a lot of volatility right now, a lot of upheaval, a lot of madness and fear. And so this is the best time ever to batten down the hatches, to get grounded, to get centered, to get focused. Some of the ways this plays out in the year, or can play out, and I'm inviting you into this, is to, number one, to simplify your life in ways that you can. Maybe go through your wardrobe and simplify your wardrobe. Give away things to the poor or to hospices and shelters and thrift and whatever, where it can be redistributed to other people who could use it. Pare down things, collectibles and furnishings, and just simplify your life. Get rid of some of that paperwork. Go through your files and simplify them. Finishing some unfinished projects. I mean, I know I'm the king of them myself, so, eliminating some, say, I'm just going to take that off my list. I'm never going to get to that, and I don't need to. And take some other tasks and get some of these unfinished projects finished. So a great idea, a great concept of simplifying, grounding, clarifying in terms of your inner work, your inner spiritual journey. Taking walks on the earth. Spending a lot of earth time is very grounding, and grounding helps you focus. Being barefoot when you can. Now, please don't go out and be dangerous and say, Louis made me cut my feet on broken glass. But when you can, when it's appropriate and safe, yes, being barefoot. Whenever you can, those of you who are smart enough to do daily meditations, when you can, this is the year to be doing as often as you can. Do your meditations on the earth, sitting on the ground, on a beach, on a boulder, with your back up against a tree. Get right, a lot of earth time, a lot of barefoot time, a lot of time spent in nature with animals, grounding. It's a great year to eat a lot of root vegetables. Those of you who can. Again, you need to honor your diet, honor your bodies. But roots are very grounding. They're very grounding, which help engender focus within. Essential oils, the ones that are very earthy are the ones that will help grounding and focus. So things like sandalwood and amber and musk and cardamom and lotus, things that are in the earth and of the earth, very, very grounding. The two most powerful crystals that I'm gifting to people to work with and have on your body and in your energy field, number one is hematite. It's one of the best grounders there is. And the other one is copper. Now, both of them have powerful grounding energies. Some people might feel more drawn to one than the other. Some of you who work with your color palette and color design, again, you have two very, very different colors, but either one of them work, and both of them work. Very, very powerful in grounding as well. So another area of focus in this year of focus is to create and gain clarity in your life about who you are, what it is you want from your life, getting more clarity and focus in your relationship with the divine, sharpening the tools of divine communion so that communion becomes A, more fluent, and B, more clear. Some people are very lazy about that. Some people don't care, and some people just, whatever, or they make excuses. Well, I can't hear, and I don't know, and God's always there, so it doesn't matter. It does matter. It does matter. Your connection to the divine is the single most important thing you have in your embodiment. I mean, think about it, and for those of you, again, who might have the great blessing of having a spiritual master, a guru, that relationship is one and the same. Your connection to the divine is your connection to your guru. So part of this year of focus is strengthening that connection. And that doesn't mean, flying to your guru's house or traveling to his or her house all the time, but it's the connection first in your heart and in your third eye, in your mind, so that you're uniting. As above, so below. As within, so without. I mean, I'll give you a classic example. Suppose a giant solar flare fries the entire grid, and there are no phones and no communication. And it's you alone, or whoever's in your building at the moment. You want these abilities connected. You want your hearts connected, your consciousness connected. So you feel sourced all the time. You don't want to have to depend on someone who might be removed from you for whatever reason. Now, I'm not saying this out of fear at all. I'm saying it out of wisdom to help people realize what's important in life. It's about being sourced and being connected, being grounded in your embodiment on this earth. Also, part of focus and grounding is purifying your diet and your habits, for those of you who might need that. But again, you be the judge. You be the miner panning for gold, and see where you might be able to improve that in what areas of your life. Because as you purify your diet and your habits, that creates clarity and groundedness and focus. And so then getting back to, as you improve your divine communion with the Creator and with your guru or teacher or a mentor, whoever your guiding forces in your life, that helps clarify, ground, and anchor the vision for your life, God's vision for your life. And that's another thing to clarify and ground, separating from, thy will versus my will. Many people slap God's name on their own personal desires for sense gratification or for greed or ambition or whatever, and they just call that God's vision, but it's not always the same and rarely is. So be in a quest, an inner quest, a treasure hunt for that, to really, really be hungry to want to know and to have those clarion calls and prayers to the heavens, to your master, if you have one, saying, show me, guide me, send me signs, help me attune to that divine plan, to that divine blueprint, to the Akashic record, to my true soul's dharma of who I am and what I'm here to do. Again, more groundedness, clarity, focus. And what this does is it not only prepares you, but it predisposes you. So we're cleaning out the dross, the debris, the maya, the distortion, the distraction, the diversion, the desire. It's the year to get the machete and go into the jungle of your own consciousness and start chopping and clearing that stuff away. And what you'll find is a rush of energy will sweep in and take you and move you forward in your life in a way that is so profound. You'll feel an influx of grace into your life as you do that. And people often will think that they're not connected and they're not, or that God's not there for them, but it's really all the stuff I just listed, all that maya and distortion and dross is what's blocking and clouding the connection that was always there. There is no one who is separate from God. If you're experiencing that, you put things in the way in the course of your life. And so I'm gifting this year of focus to clear out the brush and clear out the debris so that a crystalline vision reveals itself and takes hold of you and moves you in a way that's very, very empowering and productive and can manifest rather than being the little mouse in the mouse wheel, getting more and more worn out, more and more forlorn, more and more in despair, more and more hopeless, more and more cynical, more and more judgmental, losing more and more faith. Just let's get rid of that mouse wheel and create a more productive path in the ways I'm laying out. And the timing of this year of focus is because of what I had listed prior, because of the volatility and the madness and the corruption and, like this, as people describe, the darkest hour before the dawn. I mean, we're seeing so much now. Take the opportunity now. So you are perfectly timed and predisposed for that new emergence, that renaissance, and that breakthrough that is definitely, in the works. And this is the perfect year to prepare in the ways that I've described for that. And again, as you're doing this in your own life, watch and see how this might be playing out in the collective. Where this is happening on a global level, where it's not, in terms of institution, business, nature, politics, and the world of entertainment, which canvasses the globe, finance, economy. Watch and see where there is an energy and a focus to ground, to clarify, to cleanse, to simplify. You'll see breakthrough and progress. Where there is more indulgence and distraction and diversion and avoidance and denial and excuses, you'll see more decay and you'll see more troubles. And you'll see the line get very distinct, marked distinction of which way it will travel. Very, very exciting year, very exciting time, and I hope you take heed. And I hope and pray and wish for everyone that this year sees a complete and total larva to butterfly transformation in your life. And to me, the butterfly is one of the symbols in the world of grace, that you see that emergence in your own life with an influx of such grace that can relieve those burdens and ease the mind and bring a deeper sense of inner peace, happiness, contentment with what you have, whereas most people place an attachment and expectation on their own inner peace based on what they think they will attain in the material world, and that never does. And if people think it does, even that is ephemeral, because that too will fade very quickly. But the vehicle and the means that I'm giving you is and are the very ones to have a deepening sense of happiness and inner peace that is unabiding and unadulterated and immutable, and that no one can take that from you. It's permanent. And so that's what I'm giving to you. We only have 5 minutes left to the new year, so we're going to be passing around our toast in a moment. So I gift you with this, beloveds. I thank you for joining and watching. Some of you will be seeing this after the new year, and we'll be playing this for days and weeks and months to come. So you can see it on our website and on our membership site on Louix TV. It'll be posted there at some point. And I wish you well. And we'll have another chat next year and see what wonders await us. Thank you so much. I bless you. I love you. Namaste. And Happy New Year.